Hey everyone, welcome to the Dad Challenge podcast. Hashtag real crime. We're going on tonight. Today's kind of just, we're not going to be probably too long. There's not so much known about this case we're going to talk about today, but we are going to get into it. I'm going to have Will on in a little bit. I sent him the links. I'm sure he'll show up soon. But Will got me onto this case. He said, he texted me, he said, you got to take a look at this. It's kind of weird. And this is kind of a real-time thing. It's been going on for a little bit. She's been missing, I think, since 17th of October. I want to shout out to Cherry for giving us this timeline and hashtag real crime and Ames helping out with that. I really appreciate it. But has anybody heard of this case at all? Heidi Planck, Planck. It's such a weird case. And Will was right. Like I started looking at it, started researching it and understanding what was like, not understanding, but like taking a look at the investigative reporting and all the stuff in the news. And it's just weird. Okay. It's one of those things that took a left turn, and we'll talk about it a little bit. But here's the timeline as it is now. So 17th of October, Heidi attends her son's football game at St. Pius X St. Matthias Academy in Downey, California. She's seen leaving at halftime, and her ex-husband describes her as distracted. Okay, so I'm going to give you guys this whole thing, but and then a surveillance camera records Heidi leaving her residence. She's leaving the house. She's got a dog behind her. We're going to see the footage soon. She's got a tiny purse under her arm, and she jumps into a Range Rover and drives away. Says Jim Wayne, which is Planck's ex-husband, okay? So there are currently conflicting reports as to whether the footage was taken before or after the football game. I'm not sure that matters so much, but I guess I think as I'm understanding real crime and all that stuff, everything matters. Every little detail seems to matter for some reason, right? It's crazy. So 3 hours later in downtown LA, her dog, Seven, was found on the 28th floor, some claim the 29th floor, of an apartment building. And I'll bring that up here. Her silver Range Rover, her purse, and her personal phone and computer, however, were all gone. Okay. Is this close to you, Pinstripes? You're close to LA? So all gone 18th or 19th of October, a day or two after Heidi was last seen. Heidi's boss, and here's where it gets crazy, everybody. I don't know if I want to say it yet. I don't want to say if I want to give this up, but here's Will is entered. Let me get my headphones on. Hey, Will, let's go. You got me?
Hey, what's going on, brother?
All right, so I just gave them kind of the timeline of leading up to the point where she was last seen, which 18th to 19th of October, which is, we're coming up on 3 weeks, 3 weeks of that time she's been missing.
Yeah. And it's, I think it's pretty safe to say, because this case, I feel like the timing of this case and when it's taking place, the only reason that I can think that nobody has been talking about it, due to how crazy it is that everybody was caught up, including us, in the Gabby Petito case.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's the only explanation I can think of, because it's insane.
Yeah. Like I know, and you haven't, and there's some stuff that you haven't told me yet, which is fine. I'm going to wait for you to tell me, and we'll do it. So, I just want to, Will's here, everybody. If you guys don't know who Will is the Glare. Head over to his YouTube channel. I'm sure the mods will drop your link. Tommy says, get your tinfoil hats on. But I like to consider it crowdsourced conversation about what people think. And when you see this though, guys, okay, so let me show you the footage first. Let me open up the investigators news report. Give me a second. I'm just going to bring it up here. Boom. Okay, here we go. Let's take a look. All right.
Doing everything they can tonight to find her. And an especially difficult day for Heidi Planck's family, as her young son celebrated a birthday without his mother. Kicking on, Stacey Butler has more on the efforts to find her tonight.
We're definitely tired, but we won't stop. As Heidi Planck's friends continue to put up flyers for the missing mom, this time in West LA, tonight they have one thing on their minds.
Heidi's son, whose birthday is today, and the best gift we could give him would be to bring his mom home.
Today of all days, especially, he's on our mind, he's in our hearts.
On his 11th birthday, friends say he is home with his dad, Jim Wayne.
Just having a quiet night with family. It's been a pretty emotional time.
It's been nearly 3 weeks and still no sign of the
All right,
39.
I want to stop here. So this is the footage that they've got a hold of. Okay, that's her Range Rover. This is her leaving the house, and they don't know if it's before or after the football game. It sounds like I want to make the conjecture that it's after, because I'm not sure you're going to bring your dog to a football game, right? I feel like she went home to get the dog and took him somewhere.
It's possible, though. I mean, she strikes me as kind of the bougie type. You know what I mean?
Brings her dog,
and
brings her
she
dog
maybe
to the football game.
brings her dog everywhere, for all we know.
Cool. Yeah, I maybe, but I'm just could be that she just leaves the dog in the car and leaves it running, and global warming. But let's go into let's look at the footage here.
Year old last seen on this security tape leaving for her son's football game. Her ex-husband.
So the news says leaving for the football game. So, okay.
Wayne says he suspects her disappearance may be linked to her job as the financial controller of Camden Capital Partners, a local investment company. Her boss, Jason Sugarman, and others are being investigated by the Securities and Exchange Commission for stealing $43 million from unwitting pension funds.
$43 million. Okay, this is where this thing gets crazy. And this is when Will said, "Look at it," I said, "Holy shnikes! This is the thing." So now, obviously, she's the bookkeeper for this guy.
Yeah. Well, I'm told that. I have not been. I haven't confirmed that yet, but I think she's. According to, let me read the quote from her ex-husband Jim.
Mm-hmm.
Quote: Heidi knows all of Jason's and the company. She knows where the bones are buried.
Wow.
Right.
Okay.
That's
okay,
a quote
so
from.
That's a quote from
Jim
her
Wayne.
husband. And I wonder if part of the, we don't know about their marriage, and I'm sure it'll all come out, but it sounds like she might have been wrapped up in it inadvertently. But let's finish this thing here quick.
Law enforcement has not said Sugarman is connected to Heidi's disappearance in any way.
Mm-hmm.
We obtained this security tape from outside Heidi's home in Palms a day or two after she was last seen. Neighbors confirm it is Jason Sugarman. He appears to ring her doorbell, then leaves muffins on the doorstep. As LAPD detectives continue to investigate, her friends...
Okay, the rest doesn't matter. Listen to that. Okay, so this is what got me. This is what got me like hooked right into this case. Jason Sugarman drops muffins off 2 days after she goes missing and rings the doorbell. Again, this is obviously, everything here is conjecture. We're just talking. What is the first thing that comes to your mind, Will?
Well, I say this on my channel all the time. The answer to 99 out of 100 questions is what? Money. So
right, but why is he dropping off muffins? It's
oh well, you got me there, dude.
He's creating an alibi.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's not much of an alibi. It's 2 days after she went missing, but he could say, "I went to her house looking for her. She wasn't there. I went to drop muffins off." Like what? That doesn't. Yeah, like Nerd Girl says, delivering muffins after she goes missing, not sus at all. And from the reports that I've read just up to tonight, it's that she's a very attentive mother. It's not someone who is she's hands on completely. It's very, very odd for her to be out and doing that. So I mean, that to me is crazy. But the $43 million is a big, big bombshell in this whole thing. And but it's what she knows, because he's not been charged with anything. It sounds like he's going to be going through discovery and all that kind of stuff, and she might know something. And this is what people are obviously assuming and trying to connect it, that she knows something that's going to put this guy behind bars. That's what people are thinking.
And so she goes missing. The last time she's seen is the 17th of October. She's reported missing on the 20th when she fails to pick up her son. But on the 29th, the FBI raided her house, and they reportedly were expecting to see a crime scene, and they didn't, but they left the house with files. Now, what I find interesting about that is the FBI is not as far as I know, not involved in the missing persons part of the investigation. It's just the LAPD. So why is the FBI raiding their house? Now, fraud,
okay.
that's fraud's a federal crime.
Mhm.
So if I'm, as Tommy said, putting on my tinfoil hat here, and being somebody who watches a lot of movies, I'm thinking possibly they probably got to her. Maybe she slipped up, something to that effect. They got to her and they said, hey, we can indict you, but if you turn evidence against your boss, then you can go home. You want to see your son again, don't you? Blah, blah, blah. This happens all the time.
Yep.
That's just my loose theory.
I mean,
but I don't think it's that loose. You know what I mean?
No, I mean, you think about this for a second, right? So she knows what she knows, and I'm going to add on to what you say, right? The FBI gets involved and says what you say. Cut a deal, you'll be good. She might have called the guy and said, look, sorry, but I'm not going to jail. I have a kid to raise, blah, blah, blah. Then something goes down, which we don't know. And then it gets into this point where she leaves the place. And okay, and hear me out. I know that who was it that says she lives near her? Pinstripes. I know in LA, I don't know this, but I assume in LA there are cameras literally everywhere. Okay, cameras everywhere.
Yeah.
So where is she going? The cell phone, the bag, the laptop, everything's missing. She goes to this. Her dog ends up on the 28th floor of an apartment. I got to talk about this. Queen Bee asks, why did she leave the football game so abruptly? Something in me probably thinks she gets a call from her boss or whoever, right? Says, hey, let's go. I want to talk about this. Let's figure out who can do this. Let's meet, right? Goes home or goes out to meet this guy wherever, because did they say that her Range Rover was at the apartment building?
Sorry about that.
That scared me.
Sorry about that. I don't know. No. I'm sorry. The Range Rover hasn't been recovered. They don't have it.
They still
don't know
have
where it is. Right. They don't know where it is.
So she pulls up. Okay, so they don't know where it is. Okay, so that's what I thought. But was the part that I was reading of the story is that the building people for this building, okay, were not letting them in to the garage. They weren't without a subpoena, without anything like that. They were not being cooperative, right?
Mm-hmm.
We need to know who lives in this apartment building.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Because look how that's bougie AF in downtown Los Angeles.
And just for the chat, there's nothing wrong with being bougie. It's just respectfully, it's just a description.
I wish I was bougie.
Right.
I eat mac and cheese, so I'm not.
Yeah.
But bougie meaning, like, we say that just because it's a moniker for you're rich AF and you live in downtown Los Angeles in this condo, which is probably $1 million for 1 bedroom.
Right. Right. And something else to note, going back to the Range Rover not being recovered yet. Leo, stop it, please. Going back to the Range Rover not being recovered, it needs to be noted that her phone and laptop were still at the house.
Oh,
so I don't leave the house without my phone.
Her phone was there?
Right. Big red flag in these cases. Always huge red flag when the phone is left behind. So the phone was still at home.
Can we go back? I'm going to go back to that footage. Give me a second here. Hold on. Give me a second here. Okay. I'm watching here. I'm going to switch over the footage here for a second.
Okay.
Look at this, though, because that's interesting that you said that. That makes... Oh, what happened there? Okay, we're all good. Is it working? Okay. So look at this.
And says he suspects.
I don't know why it's being like that. It's not working all of a sudden. My internet crap out on me or something?
Wait, does that look like she's on her phone?
No,
she's got her coffee in one hand and
that's what I'm looking at now. It's all of a sudden it's not working anymore for some reason.
Huh.
Like it just stopped working. Give me a second.
Yeah, because I didn't notice that before, but that's
it
interesting. Just looked like that to me. So
stop. Pause. Okay, here we go. So there she goes. Okay. She's got her keys in her right hand and a coffee in her left. I don't see a phone, which could be in her purse or pocket. You know, she's not carrying a phone for sure.
That frame that you paused, I swear it looked like she was looking at a phone.
Right. But again, nothing. Who's to say she doesn't have a work phone? Right. She might have left her personal phone at home. Right. I have
Good
two
point.
phones. I have a work phone and I have a personal phone. So I who's to say that? So they found the stuff at the house. She goes. So when one phone at the house, one phone missing, she had one person, one business, which I just said. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So the conjecture is, again, she goes to this apartment building or not, but because if they haven't recovered the vehicle yet after 3 weeks, that's a huge hole in this case. Where is this vehicle?
Totally. Right.
3 weeks.
Totally.
3 weeks. You can't find a Range Rover?
Yeah. It's super strange. And I find it really weird that now this is not totally confirmed yet. This is just I don't even want to say rumor. But I heard that her income was $150,000 a year, somewhere around that, with a $15,000 a month bonus. Yeah. Now I don't know if that's
live in LA. You gotta. I mean, yeah.
Well, but think about it. What is her boss giving her a $15,000 a month bonus for? You know what I mean? Now, I don't know if it's fact. It's just something that I've heard. But if that is true, then that would also indicate that maybe she was being, this is be a good girl and hush money. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But I don't know that for a fact. But I mean, regardless of whether that is true or not, everything else seems to, and like you said, Occam's razor. In real crime, we say this a lot. There's, all of the other things just seem to point to that she knew something and the FBI was using that in order to indict the boss, Sugarman.
Well, Tommy's got some here. It says somehow some people get paid like that. Tommy works in money. So that's what Tommy does for a living, right? He gets paid. He's a salary plus bonus. It's a tax advantage for the employer.
Okay.
So that could be, I mean, that makes sense. But what you're saying, we're talking about Occam's razor. The most simple explanation is the explanation. The $43 million is a huge, giant red flag in this entire case. Okay.
Yeah.
Red flags galore. He's being indicted for $43 million. She obviously knows something as the bookkeeper. I think that your explanation or your theory, the tinfoil hat, whatever you want to call it, that she knows and was offered a deal and was trying to talk to him to say, what do I do? What do I do? And then they're just like, they disappeared her, or she, another theory that I've been seeing in the chat is, Sherry's got it, is that she is disappeared herself and that she just kind of like, bye, and like is hiding.
Yeah, but it's, I feel like in some way, shape, or form, she would have somehow in 3 weeks contacted her ex-husband so that her son wouldn't worry in some way, shape, or form, because supposedly the son and her are extremely close. Another fact of this case is that Jim recently filed for full custody of the son. I did know that. And a lot of people feel like that's a red flag, but I went over this last night. We explored that. I think in a case like this, since she's missing, the reason being was that she is that the son is not coping with his mom being missing at all. He's not handling it emotionally at all, and the father wants to put him in therapy. Now, what I think, a theory that I have possibly, is that since she's missing and they have joint custody, they might need a therapist, or the insurance that covers the therapist, right, they might have a stipulation that both parents, if they have joint custody, have to consent to the therapy. But since she can't, under these very odd circumstances, the judge probably made a decision in the best interest of the child to go ahead and do this like I said, for the best interest of the child.
Interesting. I just read something. The ex-husband Jim, who's 63. Okay, he's like double her age, by the way. Not double, but a lot.
Yeah, he has a family prior to her.
So he said after he reported her missing after she failed to pick up her son from school 3 days later. So
Yeah.
he's been with the dad for those days. And he I don't know if this means anything, but he says we have two totally different parenting styles. I'm a strict dad. This is not my first rodeo. I've got 2 older kids. Our son is Heidi's only child, and she's a bit more relaxed. He's a boomer, which is that's what he meant to say. Jim had said that Heidi appeared edgy and angsty at their son's football game on Downey October 17th. Asked about Heidi's demeanor when he last saw her, Jim said she just seemed antsy. She was sitting over there, then sitting over there, then she was walking over there, and she seemed like she was antsy. Most people go to a football game and find a seat, they just sit down and stay there. She was walking around, and she was sitting over here, then she was sitting over. They kept saying that. I sat on the opposite side only because it was sunny on that side, and I felt a little cold. It was like when somebody is not comfortable, not calm, so they're kind of moving from place to place. Sounds like she was obviously, yeah. She pieces out. Where is it? Yeah, I don't want to say that she left because, again, sounds like she's a super attentive mom, loves her kid, loves her dog. Leaving that behind is a big red flag as well.
Yeah, but I mean, it makes sense, and people in the chat agree with me because I was going to say it too. Is if she's leaving because she's in danger, instinctively, a parent that loves their child wouldn't bring their child and put their child in danger either. So now that she's missing, obviously, and if police, suspect that Sugarman is involved, her boss, in her disappearance, they would assume that the son is in danger in some way, shape, or form. But if she just took off because she's afraid of him, this child would be under police protection, I would assume, because obviously they would use the child as leverage and say, hey, if you don't come back, your son's going to get it. So, I mean, I've watched a lot of movies, so don't hold that against me. But that would make sense to me,
Yeah, I'm going to go back over the timeline that we got provided to sharing names. Officers entered her home, and you said this, with guns drawn, expecting to find a crime scene. Jim Wayne traced the dog's microchip to the apartment. This is crazy. Traced the dog's microchip to the apartment complex after she was reported missing. Heidi's phone receives text messages from someone at 1201 South Hope Street that they found her dog. How's that possible?
Let me cover something just real quick before we get into that, because a lot of the chat are saying the boyfriend, because she has a boyfriend, right?
Okay,
but he's already been cleared. Law enforcement is already saying that they don't believe he had anything to do with anything, so he's not a suspect or a person of interest, and he's off the table. So that's mainly why we haven't really been bringing him up. But yes, she does have a boyfriend. But yeah, please go ahead with the building.
And Jim Wayne is the boyfriend, right?
No, Jim Wayne is the ex-husband.
Oh my gosh, sorry, got that wrong. Okay, so Jim Wayne traced the dog. Okay, so Jim, the ex-husband, traced the dog's microchip to the apartment. Heidi's phone receives text messages from someone at 1201 Hope Street, and they got that text message because they got the phone when the FBI entered the apartment. Is that where we're getting that information?
Jim says that he got the text messages from Heidi. This is a head scratcher for me. How did he have access to Heidi's phone? Because he got the text messages from Heidi's phone. This is him quoting this. So he's saying that he got the text messages from Heidi's phone, and then he went to go get the dog. How did he have access to the phone? So we explored that a little bit last night too. I mean, maybe they're on the same phone plan. That's possible.
Still can't see your spouse's text messages. You can't do it.
No,
I don't think so.
Okay.
Unless he's got some kind of software on there that tracks or replicates or does that.
I don't know.
So so nobody thinks the ex-husband has anything to do with this, right? Obviously, because he's completely cooperating. I mean, that seems like what's perplexing me is that it's been 3 weeks, and obviously, the Gabby Petito thing was taking place of this thing. But when it comes to this, what she knew or what this guy's being accused of, the $43 million thing by the SEC, it seems like obviously that's one of the most obvious parts of this case, but they don't really talk about it too much. They're not really.
Maybe they're just trying not to shake him up too much. I mean, like a guy with $43 million has a lot of resources, and I doubt that he only has $43 million. You know what I mean?
Right.
And if he embezzled $43 million, or I don't even know if that's the right word to use. If he stole $43 million and he's being investigated for it, he's being charged with it, actually. Chances are it's possible, it's safe to not necessarily assume, but speculate that he's done this before and gotten away with it. They could only prove this particular crime, but if he's stolen money, if he's stolen that much, it's possible that he's done it before. So I'm guessing this guy has a lot of resources.
Right.
And what bothers me about this is if he disappeared her, it was most likely done by a professional. I'm sure he didn't do it himself. He hired a professional to do this. And the reason why you hire a professional is because they leave no trace and they're trained to do this. Or I don't know if they're trained, but chances are they are. A lot of times they're ex-military or something to that effect.
This is another thing. If she has an iPhone, which generally, most people have a little bit of money will obviously generally, I'm not saying this, but generally they get the iPhones, right? If you are connected through through your cloud account, you will get those text. My daughter gets my text messages on her iPad. So JD325 says maybe the microchip of the dog is still connected to his number. Also, if their son has an iPad and it's connected to her account, you can see yes. So he might not have explained it thoroughly, but this is absolutely plausible that the kid might be connected to the mom's Apple account, which then he would get her text messages.
Well, Lisa Marie is saying something here. Yeah, Heidi's best friend went into her house, grabbed the phone, gave it to her ex-husband. He then looked in the phone, found the messages, and went and picked up the dog, turned phone into the police. Now, if that's fact, that makes perfect sense.
Okay, hear me out, though. It sounds like they had a decent relationship even after the divorce, but he knows her phone code?
Right. Nobody knows my phone code. Nobody's getting my phone code.
My shit reads my face. And so I'm like, yeah. My wife knows my phone code, but my ex-wife probably
My wife's not going to know my phone code. Yeah. That's probably one of the many reasons I'm not married.
I just feel like something's up. Maybe the best friend know the code. I don't know. But so Heidi's best friend and Lisa Marie, where did you get that information? That's actually quite interesting.
Yeah, it's very detailed.
It's a Nancy Grace.
Okay. Well, if it's in Nancy Grace, I guess it's fact. It's written in stone. But, it's possible. I mean, she probably had somebody on there that's credible to give that information.
Okay, that's fine. So the dog goes missing and lands at this apartment building right here. I'm going to show you this kind of cool angle of this apartment building. I just want to show it to you. Okay, look at this apartment building, by the way. Not only does it have a hot tub on the roof, it has a big ass pool. Okay, this is a very expensive apartment. How has nothing come out yet? Or is it 1201? Which one's 1201? It's this one. Yeah, 1201 Hope Street. How has nothing come out yet? Who the hell lives here?
Yeah.
Who lives in this expensive apartment? That's what I want to know.
That's interesting. Right. Because I mean, and why there? Why leave the dog there? I mean, because if it was a professional, wouldn't they do something a little smarter than that?
Let's go. Sorry, I'm going to put this back. Let's put the tinfoil hats back on. Okay. When we talk about this type of stuff, I obviously have to say this just because none of this, we're just talking. Okay. So here's what I think happened. Like straight up from what I'm like, again, we're just going by what we think. She gets a call on her work phone, likely that she has. Okay. Let's meet up. I want to talk to you. Or the guy knew that for whatever reason, maybe had an inkling that she was going to talk, right? Maybe she didn't say anything. He says, I got to meet up with you for whatever reason. We need to know who lives here. That's the only thing we need to know. I can't believe Nancy Grace didn't get that yet. So let's rely on Nancy Grace. But she rolls up to this apartment or not. But how do you explain the dog getting on the 28th or 29th floor? And hear me out for a second. This is a question that's going to bug me. How the hell did the dog get on the 28th floor?
Right.
Who lives or whatever? It doesn't matter which floor it is. Whatever floor it is, it doesn't
like. Was it random? You know what I mean?
Did he get on an elevator? Did someone? Is she on the 28th or 29th floor, or was she there?
And I just thought of this. Now, I worked as a front desk concierge on South Beach many years ago. Okay, I had an elevator fob. Okay, in a building like that. Okay, so and you're right. These condos are like $1 million, for one bedroom. It's ridiculous. Now, if these are condos, of course. But nobody was getting past me and getting on the elevator. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
And I had to announce every visitor. I had to call. I look on the computer and then I call and I say, hey, this person's here at the front desk. Are they okay to come up? And they say, yeah, let them up. And then I go and I walk over to the elevator and I say, enjoy your visit. And I let them up. So I'm pretty sure if they're paying that kind of money, if that's that high end of a place, there's something very similar going on as far as security. And we're talking 13, 14 years ago, I was doing this.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So at least. So I'm sure security, or technology for security is probably beefed up a little bit in a place like that in downtown LA. So I just don't see any random person getting to the 28th floor and leaving a dog there, Okay,
here it is. Look at this. This is the apartment. I don't know. I'm being stuck on this apartment for some reason. I need to know who lives here. Look at this 360 view.
Dude.
Is this working? Holy, my computer's taking a crap on me right now. View from floor 38. What floor did they say she was on?
28, I think.
Well, I got 25, so we'll go 30. That's crazy. Look at that. So, okay. So anyway, I just wanted to take a look at these apartments. I guess I don't think you'll ever know who lives here. I don't think you're ever going to find out unless the FBI knows that that Sugarman's connected to this apartment somehow. That's the only thing I can think of right now.
Yeah, the kind of people that live in places like that are usually just as far as celebrities go, like sports people, sports celebrities and things of that nature. But not Shaquille O'Neal level. You know what I mean? Like the building that I worked at, Udonis Haslem lived there from the Miami Heat. Mm-hmm. He wasn't a big super duper star, but he was on a championship team when I was working there. So, the Heat were the champions at the time.
Okay, so I'm just looking through the lobby pictures right now. It's crazy. Okay, there's definitely cameras, which Miranda is saying here. Absolutely, there's cameras. Okay, so here's the question: what does the husband know, the ex-husband know about this apartment? This apartment is everything in this case right now, and nobody seems to be drawing more attention to it. Who lives here? Where the cameras footage? And again, remember the apartment was saying they were not going to cooperate without a warrant. Has somebody got that footage yet? And if they haven't, why aren't they releasing it? Did she come in through the parking garage? How did she get there? Where the hell is her car? It's the dog and the apartment and the car is what makes this thing so crazy and interesting, because what the hell? Did someone just bring the dog home, or is this a diversion? Is this because imagine the diversion tactic if you're professional. I don't know. I'm not a professional hitman, but imagine the diversion tactic is you just drop this dog off some random apartment and then okay, that just sends them right to there. But this dog has a computer chip in it. Can they not track where the dog was or has been?
Well, there was nobody looking for it until somebody actually called, because obviously for somebody, there was obviously some way for the people who found the dog to contact Heidi, right? Yes. So they called the phone or text the phone or whatever. Jim sees the messages after the best friend, according to Nancy Grace. And then he goes there and picks the dog up from the people who found the dog. And the story they have is they saw the dog randomly walking through the hallways and wanted to find the owner. But I was reading have you read the reviews for the building? I read some of the reviews for the building last night. Interesting.
And
bad. But
they bad reviews. Okay.
Yeah, but also take into consideration that usually people only leave bad reviews or leave reviews when they're upset. People rarely ever leave good reviews to go out of their way to do that. They get upset about something and then they're going, oh, well, I'm going to go on Yelp. You know what I mean? That's normally what happens. So you're not going to see many good reviews versus bad reviews. But the actually what I wanted to share with you now, I think it's time to do that. because there's a little
Oh,
twist in this.
You haven't even given me the twist yet?
I haven't given you the twist.
Oh
yet.
my gosh. Okay, let's have the twist.
Go find her Facebook profile.
Okay, what's her name again? Heidi. Okay.
Actually, I can send it to you on Twitter. Give me 1 second because it was sent to me last night. And I'm going to send it to you on your Twitter, okay?
Okay. This is the real crime twist that's about to happen here.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on a second. Should I bring this live or should I look first?
You could, I mean, unless you're afraid of showing some weirdo's face, which I don't think
Nope.
there's anything wrong with.
Let's do it. Okay, I'm seeing with you guys in real time right now. Okay, so here's Heidi Planck's Facebook.
Okay, now
Works
check
okay.
the posts, scroll down, and you're going to see a post for her starting a new job at the company that she was working for Sugarman. She's going to say start a new job. It should be coming up right now.
December 2016. Okay.
Okay, click on the comments. Read the comments. There's only 2 comments.
Hello,
Should
Heidi.
only be.
Saw you at the U.S. Bank on Tuesday. Love to meet you sometime. I live in the neighborhood and wanted to tell you that you have the most gorgeous blonde hair I've ever seen. I grew up with 2 sisters who were blonde hairdressers. But as I was about to say hello to you, dropped your phone and you left Antoine's area.
Yeah.
What
now
the
click
hell?
If you want to read it again, but you need to click on the dude and check out.
Okay. This is posted 2 years ago, by the way, everybody. Okay. So holy. Okay. I'm going to read this again. Hello, Heidi. Saw you at the U.S. Bank on Tuesday. Love to meet you sometime. I live in the neighborhood. I wanted to tell you that you have got the most gorgeous blonde hair I've ever seen. I grew up with 2 sisters who were blonde hairdressers. But as I was about to say hello to you, dropped your phone as you left Antoine's area. Where's Antoine's area? And congratulations with your new. Oh my gosh, that's his career. And she didn't respond. She just let that on her Facebook page. Okay, I'm clicking this profile. Who's this guy?
Now check out his friends list. This is up your alley, by the way. This is checking out red flags like this. Every single one of these.
Oh my gosh, they're all like influencer models.
Absolutely. Almost all of them are cam girls and influencer models. Almost all of them.
You're right. Oh my God, they're all that.
Who does that on their Facebook, dude?
He picked up her phone. What? Is this guy who's not talking about this guy yet? Why are they not talking about this guy?
Why haven't? Yeah.
Is he a real dude?
Looks real enough to me. Yeah, it's like
what's this? What's happening right now? Don't do that. Cool hair, bro. So nobody is okay. Who is this guy? I need to know who this guy is. I mean, not like it really matters. It's sorry, it does. Everything matters in real crime. But 2 years ago, and this is what Queen Bee is saying, did she have a stalker? But where does this guy live is the question now.
Yeah,
I want to know if he's a real guy. I'm going to Google. I'm going down to Google. Stephen Gray. Hold on.
Dude, I clicked on one of the models and then clicked on one of her friends. Dude was like shirtless and it was just, yeah, like.
What is the, hold on. Is this him? Hold on. He's got if this is him, he's got an IMDb page. I'm not sure if this is him because that's a really, really old photo. Okay.
That looks like Neil Young.
He's known for his work on The Spice of Life, Confessions of a Male Escort, and Girl Number 1. These are movies that are coming out soon. Okay. That's probably not him. Okay. It's probably not him.
Probably not. But if he's a male escort, it could be speculated, and this is a very loose speculation, that these days he could be involved in human trafficking, and she was trafficked.
Yes. Okay. This is a thing. Okay. Pinstripes just sent me a message. Los Angeles, in a tweet from Audrey Conklin. Los Angeles detectives have obtained security camera footage from a residential building in downtown LA where officials found a dog belonging to him. So they've got the footage. So That was 3 days ago that they got this footage, and we haven't seen anything yet. So, but I want to see that footage too. I want to know what she was there and who she met with. Does this Stephen Gray guy, does he work there?
I don't know, man.
Or live there?
That guy literally is you got real pretty hair. He's that guy. He's that guy, literally.
Okay, hold on a second.
Crazy.
Yeah, for who goes into a public profile of a person that they found their phone and leaves a comment that's creepy. Ladies in the chat, tell me how creepy that would be to you, and why would you leave that on your Facebook page?
She probably didn't even look at it.
That's true, right? That's what makes the most sense.
Yeah, it's possible that she's probably just not very active on Facebook.
I can't find anything else about this guy. I feel like that Facebook group or that Facebook is a front for something else, possibly. He looks like he looks. Oh, here he is. Got him. Hold on. That's him. Are you ready? Are you ready? Okay, here we go. Ready? He is West Coast Film Partners. What is West Coast Film Partners? In 1985, Gray formed co-partner Gray Goodman Inc., one of the fastest growing talent and literary agencies in the industry at the time. He has represented such talent as Academy Award-winning Quentin Tarantino, screenwriter, director of Pulp Fiction. Mr. Gray has been actively engaged with the packaging and sale of Mel Gibson's Hamlet. With over 30 years in business, he has established contacts and personal relationships in Hollywood's top players. I'm not sure that means anything.
So what's his job title? What does he do in the film industry?
President of West Coast Film Partners, which is,
what do they do?
What is it? I don't know. I mean, West Coast Film Partners is California, UK, and German-based company that deals with the development, production, financing, distribution of entertainment-based projects. Generally, if it's that vague, yes. Guys,
wait,
this is my
what are
we
stumbling on here? I mean, this probably means nothing, but
yeah, I know.
Like, could this guy be like tied in with the Weinstein type stuff? You know what I mean?
I mean, is there something? No, I don't. I think it's nothing except for the fact that it's super weird that he left that comment and then that it's all tied. I think you're right. I don't think it means anything.
Yeah.
It is a
we could be going down the wrong rabbit hole altogether.
Yeah,
like
too
I'm still with the whole Sugarman thing. You know.
Let me look up Sugarman. What's his name again?
Jason Sugarman, I think. Let me confirm that.
It is.
Okay.
So I'm going to search by past 24 hours news coverage. 37 minutes ago, which is the one I think I just read, the Sun article. Yeah, 37 minutes ago is the most recent article. I'm gonna go on Twitter and see what's going on with Jason Sugarman. See what anything pops up.
Exactly, Amber Dench. Follow the money. I absolutely agree.
I mean, like lots of people have been hurt for way less than that. $43 million is a big deal, specifically for a bunch of wealthy people who might end up in jail. The problem is it's not just Sugarman. It's probably his peripheral. It's probably everybody around him, and he might be connected to something way bigger,
much bigger than that.
Maybe
right.
that we shouldn't even be talking about. Is what I'm saying. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's probably why it's not being talked about very much.
Yeah, I mean if you're looking at a case that has high profile individuals as part of it, like the Weinstein thing, look at who doesn't cover it.
Yeah.
If you look at the Daily Mail, the Sun are covering this because they're more tabloidy, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't see CNN or like Washington Post, New York Times covering stories that are this big, that's generally for a reason. Weinstein stories didn't get covered. You guys
Weinstein calls up his buddies who's in the high office at CNN and goes, "Hey, do me a favor, don't talk about this." You know, I mean,
well, that's Catch and Kill. So if you guys get a chance, go listen to Ronan Faring. What's his name? Anyway, Ronan something. Catch and Kill podcast. Do yourselves a favor. Go binge it tomorrow. The Catch and Kill podcast talks exactly about this type of thing. These high power individuals, what they do is, you're right. They call the guy or they call the head of the newspaper and they just say don't. And they what they do is they buy the stories of these women. They pay them off. It's legally. They buy their story and it's called Catch and Kill. They catch the story and they kill it. So they own the story. The woman signs an NDA, not allowed to talk about it. And that's how they did that. So I'm not saying that this is what's happening here. I'm saying, look who's covering it and look who's not covering it as far as high level. Ronan Farrow. Ronan Farrow should be on this case. Get Ronan Farrow on this case right away.
You got to use your eyes. Yeah, man. I mean, the whole Weinstein type thing, man, you know, you just got to assume that they got powerful friends. You don't even know. I mean, if you're looking at the Epstein type situation, you know, Epstein, multi-billionaire, right? Multi-billionaire.
Yep,
and then he gets self-unalived in jail. And you know what I mean?
It's the things that we have that this is. Can we do a sidebar on Epstein just for a second? I know I'll probably get struck for this, but of all the things that we know as human beings, okay, of all the things that have gone down in the last 10 years, the craziness that we've seen, the absolute and utter things that we know, okay, nobody seems to, and maybe for a good reason, but no one seems to care that Epstein, that what happened to him.
Yeah, everybody, and everybody's his wife was being indicted. What happened to that? What happened to that?
I'm telling you, this is obviously everybody knows what they know, but no one talks about it. Everybody just makes a joke out of it because he deserved what he got, probably, right? But at the same time, he knew something was going to spill that thing for the deal he was about to make. The deals that he could have made, they weren't going to make the deals anyway, because the people that he was going to indict were the people who make the deals. They work for those people that they're going to indict. So nobody talks about that. It's an insane story that this guy, all of a sudden the cameras go out, the guards fell asleep, whatever the case may be of the Epstein case. And everybody's just like, yeah, it's just, of all the tinfoil hat conspiracies and things that are going on, this one is the one that people just like, they just let it go, and it shouldn't have let it go.
Yeah. I mean, and this is the thing is, who's to say that's not going to happen here with Heidi? You know, who's going to say that the same thing's not going to happen with Heidi Planck? I mean, she's not at a high level like Epstein was, you know? I mean, yeah, Ghislaine Maxwell, is she in prison twiddling her thumb? Okay.
She's right now, she's about to make deals, and I bet she'll be unalived in no time. I mean, again, this goes so high. The levels of power that this stuff touches is just like, we'll never understand it. We'll never know in our lifetimes.
That's my point.
Most people don't want to touch it.
Imagine how high the Heidi Planck thing goes. You know what I mean?
If these guys, so a lot of the Twitter stuff that's going on right now is Heidi Planck missing updates. Jason Sugarman and his brother are serial fraudsters, and his brother's name is where is it? Sorry, I just had it here. Steven Sugarman and Jason Sugarman, shady. This is a connection to the Los Angeles Football Club. So it's like connected to like big time stuff. And I mean, these guys are just, they're talking about it. They think it's going on, but nobody knows anything, because if the FBI is doing their thing, they keep quiet about things, and then they go and they're ready, right?
And think about that right there. Now let's do a little trail of money, an imaginary trail of money, if you will. So let's say if this LA football club is involved, how much revenue do you think that creates for the economy in LA? So imagine how many politicians they have in their pocket. How many people have the power to stuff this under the bed? You know,
billionaires can do whatever they want, and they can hire the people to hire the people to do the thing they want, to have plausible deniability and all that kind of stuff. It's just a way, and that's crazy. I got to come back to this though. The damn muffins. What in the utter bollocks is this guy dropping muffins off to her front door? What does that mean? Like, did
after she's gone missing already?
Was she going there to see if it was a crime scene there? Was he going there to see if police were there scouting the house? Was he going there to create a diversion? Was he going there to say, I don't know, she was gone? And this guy's a billionaire dropping muffins. Has he done it before? Like, what is going on?
Was it some sort of weird murderous calling card? You know what I mean? Like,
the muffins are like in the laundry case with the stickers on the back of the van. What is the muffins? And it's cat, and he ran. It's not random, Cass. I don't think at all. I think there's something that
There's
went
got to be
down.
a significance to it. There's nothing random about muffins.
Here's my conjecture. He's driving. It's 2 days after this whole thing went down. Whatever went down. Okay, either she's gone or she's gone. There's two ways she's gone. She is gone on her own accord, or she has gone on someone else's accord. Okay, and it's 2 days. And he's just trying to, maybe he's getting a little bit antsy. He needs to know more. He wants to see what's going on. He drives over to her house. He's like, I can't just show up. I'm going to pick something up. And the question is, what type of muffins? If that shit had raisins in it, then this guy's definitely guilty. Like 100%.
Okay. So let's say this is a Hollywood movie, right? So it's been 2 days. He orders the hit on her, right? Guy who does the hit is like, listen, this is going to be the last time we talk. Don't contact me again. Talk to him on a burner phone. It's gone. And then 2 days go by. This guy has no answers, nothing. And then he just panics and just does the weirdest thing to not look guilty and picks up muffins,
which makes him look 10 times more guilty.
Right.
Or like not guilty, but like it definitely there's no.
Maybe they had muffins every day together and he was trying to make it look like it was a sentimental gesture.
Maybe there's $15,000 in the muffin container. And did the FBI pick up those muffins? He dropped them off on her porch and left.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure they're entered into evidence or something, unless,
really good here. Margot, she's under police protection. Maybe hear me out. She's going to go and say the things she needs to say. And what do they usually do? They protect them by putting them in by putting them in whatever you call it, protected custody or whatever the case may be. That is very, but they probably could have taken her dog with it. But her kid would have went with her. That doesn't make as much sense as like just leaving.
No, because as long as the kid's with the dad, but
true.
Maybe Jim's in on it and he knows, and he's just saying, that the kid is distraught and he's saying all these things and helping with the whole facade. It's possible.
Cass says, what if delivering the muffins was assigned to someone that maybe go through with the hit? But it's 2 days after she was missing. 2 days after the dog was found. If anything, that thing already went down. But someone said something before that. As he dropped off the muffins, it's like he knew she wasn't there. He didn't wait very long after the doorbell was rung and just left the muffins and pieced out. He didn't wait very long.
Yeah, yeah. He just can you play that footage again?
Yeah, let me find it.
Yeah, because I want to know exactly how long it took him to drop off those muffins. Like, I gotta find that footage because if he just got out of his car, dropped them off, and then walked away, he knew she wasn't there. And how did he know she wasn't there? Could just be that he heard she was missing and just assumed.
Okay, where did that? I gotta find that news article again. I lost it. Let me just look for it again.
It was in the news. It was in the news clip that you played earlier.
Yeah. Heidi Planck. Here it is. Oh, that's the Sun. I don't want that one.
Yeah, Deidre Rose Sharples. Yeah, I don't even feel right talking about that subject without acknowledging how brave Rose McGowan's been. She's been amazing. She's incredible. She is a badass.
Don't mess with Rose. She's like, she has nothing to lose. Nothing to lose, man.
She's like, the only way for me to stay totally safe is to get completely in front of this and not hold anything back.
I all of a sudden cannot find the dang article I had before. Heidi Planck. Is it here?
And Cherry's being very sweet by dropping my channel name here.
Subscribe,
but
everybody.
She's got this bad habit of having typos. There's something wrong with her phone. She keeps putting true crime when it's actually real crime. And
real crime, Cherry. Don't make me boot you. Don't make me boot you out of here.
It's just, yeah. So please forgive Cherry's being prone to typos. It's real crime.
I'm looking for it here. Okay, I got it. Give me a sec. Let me fast forward it to the muffin drop, which is such a weird.
It's the whole thing's weird, dude.
Okay, found the spot.
leaving her home in the Palms area on October 17th. Hours later, her dog was found at this apartment complex at the corner of Hope and 12th Streets.
Not only was it because her dog was found on the 29th floor of this building, but it's also because the community around here just genuinely cares. They've been so helpful and so kind.
Friends say business owners have allowed them to post their flyers. The hope is to eventually bring Planck home to her 10-year-old son.
Heidi is missing.
I hope
She's
this has the footage of the
well-loved,
muffins.
Severely missed. She has a son that
I
misses
feel
her.
like it does.
Has friends and family that miss her and just want her home safe.
Did it?
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't. But you maybe it was another news clip.
Okay.
Case.
Or maybe you could just search. Maybe you could just search.
I did. I searched like Jason Sugarman dropping muffins off. Nothing. This is insane. Okay, let me find this. I'll find it. You keep talking. I got this. Read off people's comments.
All right. Oh, thank you, Everything True Crime. You got to change your name though. We love that you're giving super chats though, but it would mean everything in the world to us if you change your name to Real Crime. Just say it. Everything Real Crime. But she did acknowledge and say that we were the best real crime creators on one panel, which is really,
I agree.
really sweet. Very,
Hold on a
very
second.
sweet.
I'm looking for this. My internet, for some reason, is a potato at this. Okay, I found it.
Nice.
Okay, so let me just back up a hair.
Does it show him getting out of the car?
It's fine. No, it doesn't. I don't think. Hold on. No, it just goes from here.
We obtained this security.
Watch this.
From out-
Rings the doorbell. Instantly takes.
He's taking a step, so he just got there.
He just rang the doorbell. Took a step forward.
Heidi's home in Palms a day or two after she
He
was
waits.
last.
That's not even 4 seconds before he drops it on the porch. He knows she's not home. Doesn't give her 8 seconds. His door is open on the sidewalk. He's got his car running. And he's blocking half the road. He's not there for long. That guy is there for 10 seconds.
Yeah, he's blocking the sidewalk. Like on top of that, he's a jerk. On top of everything, he's an inconsiderate jerk to pedestrians.
Sugarman. He appears to ring her doorbell, then leaves muffins on the doorstep. As LAPD.
That is so, dude. He's there for a total of 8 seconds and leaves before she gets to the door. He knows she's not home. He knows she's not home.
Sugarman sucks, dude.
If he's worried about her, if Sugarman's worried about her, and he probably will use that. If you're worried about somebody, you go to the house, you knock on their door, you bang, you look in the windows. If you're worried about somebody, you don't ring the doorbell in 2 seconds, drop muffins, and leave. You don't do it.
Or even if you're kind of timid about doing all that, you wait 25 seconds, 30 seconds, a minute. You know, like, well, I guess she's not here. I'll leave the muffins. You know what I mean?
Muffins, man. What is the?
It's so weird.
What a weirdo, man. It's like he
weird.
came up with it last minute to find out, to say that this is what he was. If the cops were to be there, maybe he had something in his hand to say. If the cops were there, he'd be, I was just dropping off muffins. That's a Grubhub move. Maybe he was working for Grubhub.
If he gets charged with her disappearance, I can't wait to read the affidavit because they're gonna ask him about the muffins. The cops have to be dying to know about that. Why the muffins? What's with the muffins?
And again, this guy's likely rich enough that he's got lawyers just like the laundry parents to say he's not saying a word to you guys. He's not saying a word. You're not gonna get a word out of this guy.
The laundries couldn't afford the kind of lawyers this guy's gonna have.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
That's insane. Again, he didn't look back while walking to his vehicles, even when he came to the door. This is the sussest thing I've ever seen in anything ever.
Everything about this guy connected to this case is absolutely suspect.
Oh yeah. Spicy Applesauce writes, I've never had a boss drop muffins off for me. If something tells me that she's a young attractive woman, right? These guys hire these women. Maybe they're talented. They probably are talented, but they're also, I don't know. Maybe he had a relationship with her and he doesn't. I don't know. She had a boyfriend though, right?
Yeah, she has a boyfriend, but he's been cleared basically.
Where is he in all this though? Where is this? Is it like a boyfriend that like she sees that obviously doesn't live with her? Is just kind of like a dating boyfriend? I
honestly don't know, but Jim was quoted in saying that he's met him and he seems like a great guy, quote unquote.
Someone writes too, he's rich enough to have someone deliver muffins. This guy's rolling up in his $150,000 vehicle, dropping off muffins from the dollar store. It doesn't make sense, man.
They could have been good. They could have been good muffins. I mean, you know,
maybe they were laced with fentanyl. I don't know what this guy's doing. But that is, to me, it's the sussest thing in the world. So a couple of the comments are interesting. $43 million of stolen money with the boss's company seems like plenty motive to kill an employee about to go to authorities about it. They need to get on him before he pulls a Brian Laundrie and escapes. He's not. He's too, like, again, he's got lawyers on top of lawyers.
Yeah, no, he's not running. He's not doing anything like that. This is going to be nothing like the Laundrie case. This is going to be, well, I should say, out of respect for Gabby, this is nothing like the Gabby Petito case. But this guy, yeah, like you said, this guy can afford a team of lawyers. This guy is this guy's OJ level.
This guy can hire lawyers to make the muffins.
Yeah, he could hire OJ's team. He's in LA.
Yeah, exactly. So it's going to be interesting to see where this goes forward, because obviously the FBI's got the footage now. Another interesting part of this case is that the fact that the building was being super, super sus about, so maybe they're apology muffins. Sorry, I murdered you by accident. It's super sus because, again, this building is going to have, the FBI already knows who lives in this building, that it's going to be a person of interest, and maybe this guy, or someone had wrote this before earlier too, that said people who are rich generally have LLCs and they don't put their name on a lease, right? It's generally their companies, but they'll find that, right? The issue is that the one thing that's really sus too is that this building wasn't going to let the cops weren't allowed to come look at the footage. They weren't letting them go look for the vehicle. They were just being super like standoffish to maybe give people more time to get rid of things, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, or they were threatened. You know.
Yes, exactly. Or they were bought.
Or there's somebody in the building that everybody in the building already talks about, and they're like, this dude, if this guy had anything to do with it, I'm not saying a word. I don't want nothing to do with this.
Exactly.
Because he's that powerful.
Again, I think what this is going to come down to, and this has been a great live, but this is a very interesting story that we're going to follow, but I think it's going to come down to who lives at the building, if anybody. How the hell did the dog get there? And they're going to know by the footage, because likely, if, here's my conjecture, she rolls up to the building, brings her dog with her, goes in, and is maybe, I don't know. Again, you're on an apartment building with a whole bunch of people with doors and cameras everywhere. That dog thing is really getting me, because how does a dog end up in a hallway? Unless something went really quickly, like she was pulled in or something like that, and the dog was left.
The dog was ditched in the apartment. You know, the dog was ditched in the apartment. But if the dog is in the apartment, I'm thinking the LAPD has probable cause. I mean, I don't know how the law works necessarily, but it feels like they would have probable cause to get warrants for every door on at least that floor that the dog was found.
Yep.
You know, so I mean,
but hear me out again. And this Jasmine Micklemore probably is correct about this. They might have a bunch of high profile tenants and promise to privacy. Again, when you have high profile, very wealthy people, you know, a lot of wealthy people, like, generally are going to be like, cop rolls up at your door, they're going to like, get lost. Like, no, you're not coming.
Call my lawyer, leave me alone.
Yeah, there's a lot of probably things going on in this building, generally, like some skullduggery that probably goes down in these types of really wealthy buildings. They don't want people sniffing around. They don't.
Yeah.
Right. There's probably there could be a lot of trafficking, could be a lot of anything going on in that building that we don't know about. And your theory of trafficking could make sense and connect the dots that maybe there's some kind of trafficking thing going on in this building.
And you know, cops sniffing around in a high profile building like that could affect the property value. Mm-hmm. You know, and a bad case with that involvement could affect the property value.
A murder absolutely affects property value.
And they're like,
you have to talk about that stuff.
Yeah, they're like, no. You know, that's.
If anything happens inside of an apartment, a house that's sold, you have to disclose that stuff. You have to. That drops your property value by, I don't know, in LA.
But only when you sell it, though, right? Only when you're trying to sell it.
Who wants to rent where someone got murdered either? I wouldn't, probably.
No,
not.
Of course. But what I'm saying is, because you're in real estate, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know anything about it, but I do know that does have to be disclosed. If somebody is murdered, it has to be disclosed. But only in that case, it doesn't have to be disclosed to the police unless they have a warrant. You know what I mean? But So, but like you're saying, I get where you're going with this is if you end up admitting that to the police, when they do try to sell it or rent it out to somebody, they know that's going to risk the chances of them making any money off of it in the future.
Or if there's crime going on in a building, you might lose a bunch of tenants. Right? They're like, I don't want to be here. There's like murders and traffic. I'm leaving.
But there's already reports of that in the Yelp reviews. They're saying that, they're saying that people are firing guns and it's nuts. Yeah, it's crazy.
Nikes. Don't live in California. Everybody's in California. Leave right now. If it was, I don't think they would cook meth in buildings like that, but you never know.
I mean, I don't know anything about it except for Breaking Bad, but it's supposedly really unstable, according to what's his name? Whatever the guy's name was. Heisenberg. Yeah. Too unstable. Is always worried about causing a big explosion and,
just crazy.
So,
all right. So let's continue. Follow the case. Will, thanks for coming on. Everybody head over to Will's channel. Are you going live?
No, man.
Okay.
I'm done for tonight.
Yeah, I'm going for tonight. But head over to Will's channel, The Glare. Make sure you subscribe, guys. This is a case that Will and I are going to cover together. I think that, we're on this one. We're partnering on this one. It's good.
I love
your channel next time. But this is really cool. Like, not cool. Cool is a bad word, but you know what I'm saying? A very interesting case with a ton of
It's cool to explore.
That all makes sense. Yeah, it's very cool to explore. At the same time, ton of theories that all at this point could make complete sense. Like her getting away, her being in protective custody, her pretending, like faking her death to get away, her being murdered, her
all solid theories.
Or she's still in the damn building.
Yeah, somewhere. Look how big that building is.
Where's her car?
That building is. Where's her car? Where's her car?
That crap, exactly. You know that expensive vehicles have GPS tracking in them. So
yeah, we could brainstorm on this all night.
Yeah, interesting. Very interesting case. So, guys, thank you for joining us here at Real Crime. Again, head over to Will's thing, and we'll continue to cover this. It's a really, really interesting thing. If you guys have any ideas or you get updates, always you can email Will or Twitter him or whatever, or me as well. We're always ready to go live if something breaks on this, and we're going to keep an eye on it for sure.
And thank you for using your platform to create awareness on this too, man, because, it's real important that, we focus on these missing people and try to get the word out, man. So thank you so much for that on behalf of everybody. I appreciate it.
Yeah, well,
and I thank you for having me on.
Yeah, man. Great talk tonight. All right, everybody.
Yeah, man.
Love you.